So the 1.7 Livestream for ZZ just happened. I didn't catch it live, but thankfully we found a condensed version. So let's see what's going on.
And there's a lot of things to unpackage here with the surprise twist at the end. Now, to be clear, this reveal includes characters like Vivian and Vlad, but there's definitely even more you'll be excited for. So without further ado, let's go.
I think I'll get Vivian. I'm not sure if I'll pull Vlad unless he looks really cool. I'll be real, man. I kind of don't want to incentivize the game to make more dudes, which is why I believe I've only pulled lighter. Yeah, I kind of just want ZZD to be a porn game, to be completely honest. Vlad playstyle is badass. Is it that cool? Because I wasn't going to pull lighter either, but he was so fucking cool I had to. But I really just want ZZZ to be my porn generator. And there's a shockingly low amount of trigger porn, and I need more of that.
Let's get into it. To start the live stream off, we were introduced to Hugo and his kit, and this included fast dash attacks using his scythe. Following this, we were given a bit of a preview where we had Vivian following and stalking us, and alongside this was also some umbrella gameplay, which did kind of give us a hint as to how Vivian will be played. Now, beyond just having an umbrella,
I will say that was fucking sick.
Played.
Oh, bro, that is hard as fuck.
Now, beyond just having an umbrella, it did appear as though she has jets or some sort of thrusters under her dress, which to be honest looks very cute and silly. Now,
I've seen no leaks for Vivian.
In addition to these, we were teased towards the fact that she can sometimes clump enemies together, but taking a step back from combat, we were also shown Lycone and
I can't wait for the pure fiction game mode.
Hugo Vlad's story having a continuation in this upcoming version. Now, before we move away from the trailer that was shown, it is also worth mentioning that we were described to be aiming to save Vivian, and truthfully, it appeared as though we're in for a very dramatic and intense story.
Oh, damn, she can do all that?
1.7 drops. Now,
That's
we did have some more drops from the live stream, and the first thing that we were told is that we'll be entering into enemy territory where
I will say the jets underneath her dress is kind of cool.
Vivian. Now, of course, alongside this, we had a lot of loving remarks from Vivian. Yes, we love her too. But
I think Vivian looks really cool, but her gameplay really didn't do anything for me. To be completely honest, it looked all right. Yeah, I don't know. I was kind of expecting more. Oh, well.
We'll also be encountering some of Vivian's old acquaintances.
Yeah, Hugo's gameplay looks cooler. That's something that I was not expecting to say.
Now, aside from the additional blushing from Vivian, who can't help it, I guess, whenever she sees us, which again is very cute, we were also teased in this trailer alone, Yijuan, who is also revealed to be a Void Hunter level investigator.
Are we gonna see a character stronger than Miyabi? Oh no. Are we really doing Miyabi 2.0 already? Oh man. I guess we'll see. Has it begun? Guys, I think it might begin.
Now, to be clear, we aren't sure exactly what that means, but
look at those f***ing boobs! God damn, girl, she a whore! Look at them booty shorts throwing f***ing ass, god damn! Hopefully she's on the same level as Miyabi and not just beyond broken. Because I think a character stronger than Miyabi is just not a good sign of things to come. I genuinely, we need to make it very similar to Miyabi, do not break Miyabi, okay? Y'all said you were gonna balance new units, and I wanna see them be truthful with that by them not power creeping them. $50, they will do the warp screen like Castros and Miyabi when she drops. You think so, really? Oh God, is it really like that? Is she the 2.0 unit? She is? Oh, Jesus. All right, well, we're gonna see where she takes us.
But given that our last Void Hunter level character was Miyabi, this is extremely exciting. After this, it was announced that 1.7 will have season 1 of the main story's epilogue.
I will say, Vivian being this down bad for our character makes me really like her. I love characters like this. I think it's so fucking hot. Is this in the game? Is this currently in the game? Is this coming for 1.7? I will play this quest for her. I will do that. Guys, I'll be real. I love weathering waves. I love collecting wives. That's why that's why I had to get out of my marriage, guys, because I wanted to collect more. You know what I mean? I'm a collector, right? I'm trying to have at least 8 divorces like my father, right? I just feel like getting tied down to one woman's just boring, you know? Like, you just got to get on the next one, you know what I'm saying? We just got to get them going, man. Yeah, 100%.
And for those of you that are art appreciators, we were also given some fan art, as we usually get, but for some reason this time around we had some interesting art. Following this, they also directly announced character teasers and songs coming for Vivian and Hugo, but then we moved on to exactly what everyone was waiting for, that of course being the gameplay.
Ain't no way bro just said ejaculate and evacuate. I've never heard that shit in my whole life. That's actually fucking insane.
Demos of these characters. Now, although it was very hectic and very quick, here's what we officially know about Vivian. First and foremost, she is an S-rank ether anomaly agent, and after using certain moves in her kit, she enters into a new state which puts her in the air. Now, while she's in the air, she can actually attack down below and do dive bomb or ranged attacks in general. However, the important idea behind her kit is that whenever a squad mate uses their EX special, Vivian will hit off field, assuming she's in her enhanced state, which then allows her to apply anomaly, but that's not all. See, for Vivian specifically, she also inflicts another type of anomaly when other anomalies are already applied, and though a lot of this is confusing, and I'll be waiting until we see officially how this works, the general idea behind this concept was that Vivian will be boosting corruption and disorder damage specifically. Finally, they did tease a bit of how Vivian will be played, and that specifically was to enter onto field with Vivian, use her EX special, generate enough decibels to use her ultimate, then head off field as her allies deal an insane amount of anomaly damage. The next character we saw was Hugo Vlad, who in this case is an S-rank ice attack agent. Now, unlike Vivian, Hugo can throw his scythe from range, but is primarily a melee character at heart. Now, for his EX special and for certain moves that he has, this can be used to increase his crit rate or give him bonus stats depending on how much stun remains when he uses it against an enemy. Unlike other attack agents where you spend a lot of time attacking an enemy while they're stunned, Hugo actually consumes the remainder of the stun gauge and essentially performs a quick burst of damage depending on the stun gauge itself. Long story short, as opposed to having a window of dealing increased damage during a stun window, Hugo
I'm now pulling for both. I will be getting both. He looks honestly really fucking cool. I'm getting both. He looks so sick.
Will immediately use all of the stun gauge to deal big burst damage, while then allowing you to begin the stun process from the beginning. After this, we were shown 2 new Bangboos, and the first one that was revealed is honestly pretty cute, also known as Robin. This is a Phantom Thief Bangboo, and although it does require one Mockingbird member to activate his passive, I personally found that the star of 1.7 stream was Overtime Boo. Now, to be clear, this Bangboo is very, very cute, but also relatable, as after working and sitting on his computer for enough time, he becomes very angry and throws his work and the computer at enemies, which, let's be honest, is definitely something that we've all felt before. Next, they then announced the details for the banners and when each will be launching. The first half of version 1.7 will be Vivian, and alongside Vivian will be a rerun of Jane Doe. The second half of 1.7 will be Hugo, and alongside Hugo will be Lighter. Now, as a quick aside, Jane Doe is definitely a character that is still very powerful, especially if you have a character like Bernice. But if you're someone that's a big fan of Evelyn, this Lighter rerun will be huge, especially if you're someone that missed him for the first time around. If we rewind for a second back to Overtime Boo, it is worth mentioning that Overtime Boo is yet another A-rank Bangboo, but good news for you free-to-play players, because this is actually a new and free event Bangboo, and if you're someone that has been using someone like Nightboo, you know just how powerful A-rank Bangboos can be. After this, they also revealed the usual with things like the 10 free summons, the 10 free Boopons that'll be coming in 1.7, but then things like the new avatars and the regular addition of a trust system for the new characters. It will also be present in 1.7 too. Following this, we were also given the redemption code known as Mockingbird. What a surprise. So at this point of the video, make sure to redeem this if you haven't, as it does end up expiring on the 12th. Next, we were given details about events. Now, this time around, there were definitely less reveals for events. However, I do think that the events that we were shown were still pretty cool. The first one that we were shown is a flower decorating simulator, and from this, you make custom flowers and fulfill orders. But what I did find pretty cool is that, if I'm not mistaken, you can keep some of the flowers for yourself, or you unlock some sort of flower permanent feature in some sort of way. But in addition to this, the flower shop has also been added as a permanent feature. So if you'd prefer, you can take a character like Astro Yao or even Vivian to the flower shop, and they'll have their own dedicated dialogue or special lines if you take them there. Now,
wait, I get to be parasocial as I my anime girls?
Before we get to the next event, it is also worth mentioning that this specific floral design event is where you'll be getting Overtime Boo, so do with that what you will. But guys, we were then reintroduced to one of, in my opinion, one of the most fun events that Zenless Zone Zero has ever released. You guessed it, they're reintroducing Fall Guys back to Zenless Zone Zero.
Oh, thank God.
Now, to be clear, they did make some changes to this.
Bro, they need to make Fall Guys a permanent arcade minigame, because that shit was actually so fucking fun. I think the players would actually greatly enjoy that shit. It was such a good ass time.
And arguably the biggest...
Yeah, add ranked to that shit, bro. Add ranked.
First announcement that they gave us was the fact that you can now invite friends to Fall Guys. Now, if you were someone that did the Fall Guys event in the past, It did feel kind of lonely if you didn't invite friends to it, but to my
That's so
complete
cool.
surprise, a completely thought out ranked mode for this event too.
There's fucking ranked Fall Guys? Bro, that's hilarious, dude. That's fucking hilarious. What the hell? Oh, dude, I have to get in there, man. I have to get in. No, I had no idea. No, I legit had no idea. I just saw one guy scream ranked and I was like, oh yeah, that'd be cool. Bro, that's so funny.
That means that depending on your ranking and how often you win, you'll actually have a specific matchmaking queue against other players, depending on how well you've been performing in your matches. Now, I don't have to tell you how goofy this sounds already, but it honestly is pretty funny to actually be able to compete against other players in a
I wonder what you get for being high ranked in Bangboo Fall Guy.
ranked Fall Guys setting. Now, to be clear, the Floral and the Fall Guys events were definitely the major events that were announced for 1.7.
That MMR rating is insane. What the fuck? What the fuck? I hope you get like a Bangboo skin if you're like top rank.
We did have other events that were brought back from the past, and that includes a more training / choose your own reward event through a novelist, a renowned director event where you can now take photos of your favorite characters, old and new. But after this, some of the most rewarding while also very easy to complete events were also reintroduced, with things like the cooking / food pop-up event being...
Bro, I've seen so much Ellen Joe porn that it's like kind of ruined my fucking brain every single time I look at her. It's like the same thing with Zhu Yuan. Like, I don't see that as a ZZZ character. I just see, oh, that's the chick that gets fucked all the time. Like, dude, ZZZ is so bad for my brain, it's insane. Bro, she's 16, same.
Added, double drops being announced again, and all of this was preceded by the optimizations that they added to the game. Now, in terms of changes to the function of the game, the first quality of life that was added is now that all disk drives can be marked for discard, regardless if they're equipped or not. Personally, this is also something that
damn, I ain't gonna lie, bro. Hugo looks hot as fuck.
I don't know if it's as though Zenless Zone Zero is just tapped into my brain, but I was just complaining about this recently, so it feels weird. However, definitely appreciated that this is being changed. Now, moving beyond this, they also announced that Notorious Hunt is being optimized yet again, where you can now go to the no reward mode or the into the depths mode, which makes you use energy in order to receive additional weekly materials.
Oh, bro, Hugo has homophobia? Bro, I love when they do that shit. It looks so good.
In order to receive additional weekly materials, but where you used to have to go back to the menu in order to activate these events after running out of attempts for the week, they've now added 2 buttons that you can click at the end of your screen, and this will automatically let you re-enter into combat without ever having to re-enter the menu to begin with. Now, in addition to this, they also added voice lines for when you take photos with your favorite agents in quality time mode. But in a complete turn of events and a complete shocker, as of the time of this recording, there's going to be another big Xbox Spotlight live stream, and we aren't even sure exactly what's going to be announced there. Now, to be clear, I'll be making
probably nothing. Like, probably nothing?
Another video on that. But aside from the likely announcement that Zenless Zone Zero is coming to the Xbox...
Oh, it was nothing. It was nothing. It's a 1-minute trailer. Yeah, I assumed it was fucking nothing.
I'm curious if that live stream will have information about 2.0 or
No,
some directions / teasers that we may have been teased in the dev talk from earlier, so stay tuned for that, as I'll be covering that too. That was it for everything in the 1.7 live stream though, guys. To be honest, this...
Bro, great fucking video, man. It's nice seeing Kana make more gacha videos. That was great. Great fucking video. 1.7, to be fair, it looks aight. Like, this video will probably be called Honest Thoughts on Zenless Zone Zero 1.7 live stream. Looks aight, but I'm still waiting for 2.0, and I think it adds a couple of things that'll be good for the future, but yeah, let's be real. I'm whelmed, but, you know, still Hugo and Vivian look cool, but other than that, I mean, I'm also excited for the story. I will play that story. That looks very cute. We'll see how it goes, right? I think we need skins. Yeah, I think we need bunny skins. We get bunny skins, 10 out of 10 game.